Hello and welcome to Sensational South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. Over the next 30 minutes, we bring you all the major news and newsmakers from across South India. Our top story today comes from Kerala. The Justice Hema Committee report has put out some shocking details about the exploitation of women, especially in the Malayalam film industry. There are serious question marks on the delay in the release of this report and what will the state government do and what can the industry do. We'll debate that, but first the story.
In 2017, Malayalam actor Dilip was arrested with some others for allegedly sexually assaulting an actress in a movie vehicle in Kochi. As the actor battled those allegations, many spoke of the rot in the industry in hushed voices. The same year, in response to a request from the Women in Cinema Collective, the Hema Committee was constituted to study issues of sexual harassment and gender inequality in Malayalam cinema. 2 years later, the panel submitted its report to Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, but it was not released because it was suspected to contain sensitive information. After much delay, the report has finally been made public and the 235-page report makes some damning revelations.
The Hema Committee report has some shocking observations. It says that female artists were asked to be ready for adjustments and compromise and be available for sex on demand. It also says that female artists did not feel comfortable while staying at their hotel rooms while out on shoot because they would have intoxicated men who would come to their room, bang on the doors. They're saying that there is a group of powerful men in the industry who dictate terms, and if these women do not accept their demands, then this clique ensures that these women do not get any job in the industry.
During its inquiry, the committee found that junior artists face highly concerning issues in the Malayalam film industry and are treated worse than slaves on certain sets. With the report now public, calls for action and accountability is growing louder. But the state government is facing the flak for hiding the truth for 5 years. Add to that the fact that 55 pages that contain experiences of sexual harassment faced by women have been redacted.
I think it's utterly shameful and shocking that the government sat on this report for nearly 5 years and now under duress they've had to release it and they're simply not willing to face the consequences. Having created an unsafe working environment for women and having perpetuated it through acts of intimidation, blackmail and worse is unforgivable. This is not what Kerala is supposed to be all about.
Hema Committee report, which was submitted almost 5 years ago, government decided not to take any action. As per the POCSO Act, any person who had the knowledge of the sexual offences of a child has to report it to the concerned authorities. These incidents also brings out the fact that the state government was trying to protect those people who are accused of harassment of women, harassment of children.
But the Chief Minister says no one will be spared. No matter how high-ranking, everyone will be held accountable before the law was the Chief Minister's unequivocal message. 2 unsuccessful challenges in court finally paved the way for the ugly truth of Mollywood to tumble out. But will the high and mighty of the industry guilty of this menace be brought to book?
To take this debate forward, we have an eminent panel joining us today on the show. We have Ms. Vinita Hariharan, a policy expert. We have Ms. Sandhya Raju, an advocate and an activist joining us on this show. Ms. Raju, I'll come to you first. How do you view the developments, ma'am? There's a delay of 4.5 years. The report comes out, some shocking details coming out in that report. But the report doesn't really name the perpetrators in some of these cases. How do you view the development that's happened over the last week or so?
Actually, the Hema Commission report should have come, as we say, 4 years back when the report was finally completed, because actually justice delayed is justice denied. And the whatever has been stated is actually quite clear. It's there. We all of us know that this was what was happening. But the fact that a commission is reporting makes it even more important, which I presume is because the names could have been quite shocking to the entire state. Or we already have two of the actors who are presently ministers or part of the LDF government, who are also part of it. So I feel that there could have been political compulsions, and these are all members also of the group which we say Amma, the Amma group, or the Amma Association. But WC recently, just now, there's been a development where the High Court has asked for the entire unredacted report to be submitted in the court. So I hope some action will be taken, because as per law, if a crime has been committed, action has to be taken. And the thing is, waiting for the victims to now come and file an FIR again or report it again is actually re-victimizing the victims. So actually they should have suo moto taken action. That is the entire thing, what I would say.
Yeah. Ms. Hariharan, do you think the fact that names have not been mentioned, a part of it has been removed, as she said, now the court is saying a full report has to be submitted to them. Do you think it would have been ideal to also put out names, the ones who've been mentioned and whose names have been now withheld?
Yeah, first of all, I think this HEMA Commission report is a great validation of the efforts of the whistleblowers, so to speak, of the Women in Cinema Collective, and the efforts of actors like Parvati and Revati, and all of the other talented actors and professionals who've been part of the Women in Cinema Collective. Kudos to them. And having said all of that, as you said, as has been said by Sandhya also, that justice delayed is justice denied. It took them 7 long years for the report highlights to come out into the open. And it's very shocking and very saddening to note that the Malayalam film industry, which is otherwise a very, very revered and very, noted industry in the globe itself for its talent and creativity, but behind the scenes is such an ugly reality. It's very, very painful to note. But as you said, and even when the committee report has come out after 7 long years, it's all muted. The names have not been revealed. So is it because it's such a big, powerful mafia comprising several leading actors and directors and producers? Is that why the names have been muted? So this is not a complete justice, I would say. This is only, a part victory of the justice that has been meted out. And unless and until the perpetrator of the crime is actually penalized and brought to, under the within the framework of the law, until they are penalized, this justice would not be meted out. And as we've seen these cases, this is like a cupboard skeleton that has come out of the cupboard. Several such cases that have been highlighted, and I think all of these perpetrators have to be booked. And having taken a step in this direction, and which is very iconic, which has not been there in any other I would say woods like the Bollywood or the Tollywood. We've not had such a committee or such a inquiry set up, and but these kind of things are prevalent, very much prevalent in Bollywood and even in the media, is what we understand. And it's also there. Hollywood, we had a Me Too campaign, but not such an institutionalized legal framework, which is the HEMA committee. For that, I think we should give credit to this. But it has been too long, and we need to have the perpetrators of the crime highlighted and booked under the framework of the law.
Yeah, we are grateful that the report is there. There's a lot of information, but how do we move on it is the question. Mr. Raju, do you think somewhere the government is trying to perhaps run away from taking responsibility by saying, okay, if people come out and register a FIR, we'll work on it, we'll investigate? The fact that there has been so much of lapse of time, whether there can be an investigation that will lead to any sort of a conviction is one question. And can the government then just say, okay, we haven't got complaints, we can't do much?
They're trying to evade responsibility is what I feel. And action, see, the thing is, the fact that this entire delay has happened is also because of them. It's not because of anyone else. They kept it quiet for 4 long years. This could have come out even with the names redacted. It could have come even that time also. That did not happen. So asking them to file a complaint again if they want to take action is like telling them, okay, if you want, we will do. And already people would have started trying to, wipe off the crime or trying to mollify these people. All those things would also happen. So I don't think that's the proper way to go. Action has to be taken. Definitely, serious systems have to be put in place. Till now, actually, because of the cases, actually all what has happened is all because of the litigations which have gone to court. Both WCC and CCRRA had kind of taken this issue relating to setting up of internal complaints committees, and that is why production houses have to now set up internal complaints committees. Now the state has to start monitoring them, and what is reflected in the HEMA Commission report in the film industry is just one part. The entire industry, in the entire
Yeah.
workforce, if you look at it, whether it be the lawyers, whether it be the journalists, all everywhere the same system, same issues come. So it is very important that the POSH Act compliance is ensured by the governments and they take it seriously, because otherwise this is just going to be something on paper, and after the sensation time is over, it will be back to square one, and that should not be allowed to happen.
Yes. Yes. And that's my next question, Ms. Hariharan. The kind of names that one is getting to hear, you have some big actors there, big producers, production houses that haven't followed rules. Can we ever change all this? Because the report itself says that these people work as a clique or a group and keep out people or keep out women when they raise their voice or resist their demands. And do you think anything will change, ma'am, with such powerful names being
Yes.
there?
Yes, definitely. I mean, this is a beginning, definitely a good beginning. I would say very, very late, but better late than never. But however powerful they may be, I think the law is supreme. And if the action is taken as per the framework of the law, and if it is followed through, it has to be followed through, it has to be monitored. And this has been said about the POSH, committees that are there in the corporate world. The similar kind of structures and committees need to be there, even in the media, even in the film industry, and such unregulated sectors, so to speak, such as the film industry. We need to have regulations in place. We need to have committees. We need to have redressal committees, grievance redressal committees, and we need to have safe spaces for women at the end of the day in all of these sectors as well, because these are high talent hubs, and these talents need to be honed. These talents need to be protected, and we need to create safe spaces.
Yeah, which means the industry will have to change. As you're saying that you will have to create safe spaces for women. Ms. Raju, looking at how the industry, especially the big wigs, the big production houses have approached this entire issue, do you think within the industry, apart from the women artists, there's any intent to change how things work in the industry?
I don't know whether there is an intent to change, but there is definitely a defensive reaction from after the coming of the HEMA committee report. Some proactive or progressive actors or new age directors have been trying to, production houses have been trying to do something, but the traditional people who in the traditional mode still find it very difficult to conform to the rules. But it will have to change. It will have to change, because there needs to be, like we were going through all the laws and existing laws and set up for regulation of the film industry, and we were surprised to find that there is nothing. So there has to be some
Yes.
strong legal backing also for the people working within the cinema industry. Otherwise things like this will happen, and it's been carrying on only because there has been no laws regulating them, and this will have to change. And I hopefully
Yes.
the coming out of HEMA committee report can initiate those aspects. Yeah.
Yeah. Ms. Hariharan, laws will come, perhaps some of the production houses will follow, there will be some sort of a regulatory mechanism. But the question is, it's an industry that perhaps across India people look up to for their kind of content they put out, the progressive stories that they adapt. But the fact that they haven't had any culture to deal with something like this, many are asking if that culture shift will happen in how they deal with women artists and ensure that anybody who tries to make them uncomfortable is dealt with in a stringent manner.
Yes, definitely. This would definitely, be a deterrent for further crimes, is what we hope. But it cannot be just ending with this sensational, unearthing of the HEMA committee report after 7 long years. It has to be followed through, just as Sandhya has just talked about, the follow-up action, the committees, the monitoring. There has to be stringent rules, first of all, established for crimes such as these against women and against young female talent in the industry, across both. Let this be, a starting point for action against all of these crimes across the industry, across, Mollywood, Hollywood, Bollywood, at least Bollywood, and still within India. Let this be the tipping point. Let this be the starting point for regulation to happen in the film world, in the cinema industry, and all of such unregulated industries in the country.
True. Ms. Raju, now thankfully the court intervened and then put out these orders. What is the role of the judiciary now, ma'am? What do you expect the judiciary to do? Because clearly the state government is not very keen on cracking on this in a stringent manner. We are seeing excuses coming in. What is the role of the judiciary?
I feel we are all looking towards the judiciary because they have paved the way. If the judiciary had not allowed
Yes.
this commission report to be released, I think the first positive action was taken by the right to information, the appellate body of the RTI, and then it went to
Yes.
the High Court.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we have hope in the courts. And we are looking forward to that. I mean, the fact that the courts have asked for an unredacted copy definitely means that they are serious about looking into it. And we really hope that the courts will be much more proactive and will not want the victims to kind of take action, to come forward. Rather, they should suo moto initiate action based on the report which has been there.
No, I ask you this question because there's some fear that it might head the Me Too movement way. Yes, it did lead to certain changes, organizations becoming a little more careful about how they deal with such complaints, and some people whose names were put out. But in many cases, legally it did not head anywhere. Do you sense that the court might give a direction in that way, ma'am?
These are this is in the High Court, and the High Court can give only can only direct actions to take place or set up protocols, or because at the High Court level it will be more like to initiate investigations, or to set up protocols, or to create a time-bodied investigation and things like that. That's what the High Court can do, and I feel the High Court will try to definitely I think they will definitely come out with a positive. I mean, I feel it will come out with a positive frame,
Okay.
and that's what we hope. Definitely, people like us will be intervening to ensure that happens. But I feel that in all this, it's the courts which have led the way rather than the government, which should have been. And one has to
Absolutely.
understand that the government is supposed to actually should have taken action rather than someone to really approach the courts. That is
Exactly.
what I feel. Yeah, because it is the
Yeah.
duty of the government.
That was my
The
question
government,
to Ms. Vinita Hariharan. True. Ms. Hariharan, the court has thankfully come out and ensured that this comes into public domain. Who do we trust next? Do we expect the court to do all the job now, or how will the government take the blame for the delay, and second, what will they do on this report now?
Yes, as has been stated by the CM, if he has said that the perpetrators will be booked. So the government now will have to take action based on this. The court can only intervene as much as it can within its powers, so be it. But it's the government now which has to take this forward and set up the committees, set up the monitoring frameworks that are required to regulate such an industry. And also the perpetrators of this crime, their names have to the unredacted version of this report has to come out where the names are highlighted. Only then will there be some kind of fear in the industry, and will there be some kind of effect of this HEMA report. Until and unless the criminals are named and shamed, I do not think there would be any use of this report coming out in the open.
Well, thank you, Ms. Vinita Hariharan and Ms. Sandhya Raju for joining us on the show today. All eyes now on Kerala government to see how they will act on this report, one. And second, what's the kind of regulatory mechanism that they will put in place to ensure that such incidents do not occur once again in the film industry. Well, we'll keep tracking that story. That was our top story this week. Time for a short break. On the other side, we'll get your exclusive interview.